So one of the things that comes up a lot is why even take on a challenge of this type? Why even restrict yourself to something as strict as a paleo diet? And when I think about my first challenge, which took place back in May 2011, and I did it completely on my own, there wasn't really a whole lot of outside reason for me to take on a challenge of this type. I mean, I was pretty healthy at the time. I was only a couple years out of professional baseball. I was working out consistently on my own 4 to 5 days a week and healthy by most people's standards. But when I look back at that time and why I felt compelled to take on this challenge, I mean, I was 25 years old at the time, and I felt like I had never really truly hit my true physical potential as a 25-year-old. So I didn't want to see the best years of my life pass by without realizing that potential. So that was a huge motivator for me personally. Also, at the time, I was consistently eating every 2 to 3 hours and eating a lot of food, but I was always hungry. I mean, I literally wouldn't even leave my house for more than an hour or two without planning where my next meal or snack was coming from. So I felt absolutely controlled by food at the time, and at the time I wanted to spend more time on my business, on my relationships, and I didn't want to feel like a slave to food any longer. So that was a huge motivator for me, those two things in taking on a challenge of this magnitude. So the challenge that I committed to 4 years ago was a 45-day paleo challenge. It wasn't called the Superhuman Challenge at the time, that name would come about later. It was 45 days of paleo, and I wasn't even fully strict. I did have some cheats in there, but at the end of the 45 days, I felt amazing. And I knew that I would never look at food the same way ever again. Some of the results that I experienced that really just amazed me was, first of all, I was leaner than I ever had been. I could honestly say that I was in the best shape I had ever been in my entire life, and it almost felt effortless compared to what I had done in the past, some of the diets and some of the workout regimens I had tried in the past. I could go hours or even probably a full day without eating and not feeling hungry. And that was a huge switch for me because I constantly felt controlled by food, and to be able to go from not being able to do, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours without eating, to be able to go a full day and to have my energy feel really consistent and really good was a huge shift for me. So one of the things I want to challenge you to do is to spend some time thinking about why you want to take on the Superhuman 40 Challenge. I can promise you that if you go through it and you really commit to it, that the results that you experience will be well beyond anything that you can imagine. But in order to get to that point and get through those first couple weeks that can be tough, you have to have some compelling reasons why you want to achieve those goals.